Hello. I'm not sure what to make of this drastic change of course in my life. I'm certainly not against it. Rectify was one of those things that appeared out of thin air. I'd made a decision that I wasn't going to do any more acting that year. You know, I was sent it by a dear old friend of mine, you know, who's a casting agent. When I said no, she said, "You're crazy. I'm going to fly to Thailand and kill you if you don't put this down." And then she sent me episode 2 because she would not take no for an answer. And I read that, and 3 days later I was hooked. I was haunted by it. When we finished the show and I read his book, I was so amazed at how Ray was able to get so close to what Daniel had experienced in terms of emotionally and psychologically. I'm very excited that Rectify has been picked up for another season, and I'm petrified beyond belief of having to go back into that world. It doesn't take very long for you to start to understand what you know somebody might experience in that situation, and there's a great deal of great writing on the subject because it is such a contentious and controversial issue. What does it matter? Hey, why do you care? Get off me! They're just books! The debate was there to look at, you know, and it was there to sort of draw the clues of how to humanize this character in both the box of death row and in the release into the sudden, you know, expulsion into the world. You know, he's been, you know, everything's dictated for the last 19 years or almost 20 years from that box, from those walls that encroach, from the memories that he's, you know, had to look at again and again and again and again and again, and in doing so has skewed and distorted and made vulnerable, and so now what is the truth? And so when he is released, this stimulus is just, it's, you know, I couldn't imagine.
You like?
It's to me, when I looked at Daniel's exit from this world into the world of light, it was going to be so much it would cause a certain paralysis of communication, of physicalization, of so many things. You know, I wanted the character to come out so immediately raw by, you know, in terms of the world around him, so that you could almost see his soul. You know, that he was, rather than just being a human being, he was a sort of spiritual aura of some degree. You know, it was only a projection for me to sort of help to figure it, but truly I couldn't, you know, even as an actor, your wish is to imagine and to understand, but you really can't. I mean, Daniel was, you know, he's an idea, a projection of what it might be like, but to go into the real thing, I don't think we could ever have an understanding. To be told you're going to be killed, you know, by the state legally, and to forfeit that life and then to be released back into it, it was obviously more than a stab in the dark and just saying, well, here's a concept and let's milk it. It was a real exploration of that, a tender exploration of that horror that somebody would go through.